boy.
I'll start off with a fucking air horn.
What do you think? What do you think of the title there, Kingdom?
Oh my fucking god.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me fucking see this. Hold on. Now get into what?
What?
Oh my god. I'm being what's the word of the day for this shit?
A dick.
Defamed? Okay, I'm being defamed
Slander.
by a fat retard working at a cart
So
pushing
I'm gonna
job.
post this so
at
they all can know
Walmart.
what a piece of shit you and your fucking peanut gallery really are.
Oh my god. That's the man.
Imagine that. Imagine being a cart pusher. How fucking exciting is it every day to go to work and you're fucking pushing carts for a living?
I mean, 31 years old and your highest aspiration is pushing carts at fucking Walmart. You're not even inside the store. They won't even notice you to be like, wow, this guy's really stepped. No, they're like, get his ass back to the fucking parking lot as soon as possible. I don't care if there's a hurricane out there. I need carts pushed. We are Walmart,
Right here.
the most ruthless company to ever exist on the face of the earth next to Disney.
If I hear this man cry about this DNA guy one more fucking time, I'm making him redundant.
Virgil, we need to talk about your TikToks. Okay?
That's probably why his TikTok got deleted. That fucking Walmart found that tweet that you did.
It wasn't me, okay? It was clearly someone else.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if I was gonna send those TikToks to Walmart, I'd have just sent them to like the fucking actual proper, channel. They have a fucking email to fucking send it to.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking TikTok's still up.
Oh my god. But the TikToks are gone. You just deleted them all.
No. They're still all up.
Oh, okay. Him
Yeah.
crying in the parking lot. Yes, that's a good idea, Virgil. You should keep those up. For the next time you piss me off, I could just send them to your employer.
Unbelievable.
What a fucking smart move. What a dumbass. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Okay, you're a self-admitted autist. And you want to fucking do battle on the internet with me? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, there's some really like
maybe it's like he's so dumb he doesn't know that he can't match brain pans with me. I don't know.
Dude, he doesn't even match brain wrinkles. He's got smooth brain.
I mean, think about it. Because this fat retard went on the internet and decided to post TikToks, Nick Kuiken decided to eject himself out of our fucking server. It's a win-win for everybody. Nobody has to sit there and listen to this fucking retard tell us all about how much he likes fucking video game hockey and how much he's in love with Bree. She's never gonna fuck you, by the way, Nick. Sorry. Bree's never gonna fuck you. Okay?
and also word from advice, I would highly suggest you stop jerking off in VCs. That kind of helps. I'm just saying, man.
To Walton's
Just
girl
stop.
voice. To
Yeah,
Walton's
just
girl.
stop.
It's like I was watching I've been working on clipping the streams, and the first one we did the fucking incel documentary. And it's got that one moment where the guy's like doing the fucking comics. He's like talking about his comics and shit, his fucking PUA, his PUA boot camp. And it just reminded me of that. You'll know the clip when you see it. It's great. Fucking hilarious stuff. That's
So apparent.
but that's what it comes down to, isn't it? Isn't that really what
Yeah.
it comes down to? Like we're dealing with a bunch of incels. None of these people get any fucking pussy.
Oh really?
Okay, Virgil had to become the girlfriend in order to get a relationship.
Womp, womp, womp.
If I can't get the girlfriend, I'll become the girlfriend. Oh my god.
Dude, why'd you sound like fucking Butthead saying that then?
Oh my god. Unbelievable.
And the time when he decided to become the girlfriend, he decided to be the girlfriend of a fucking pedo.
Putting on a
To go
dress.
about.
Putting on a dress, sucking a pedophile's dick. Oh my
But
god.
remember, we're the bad guys.
I know. Posting AI generated porn on Twitter. Okay. Talking to underage people on Discord. But those goddamn racists. Okay, those fucking racists and homophobes over there in the peanut gallery. Goddamn tranny phobes. They're the bad guys. Okay? I know. I know. It's goofy. But it is what it is.
Oh, fucking hell.
And speaking of retards, Elon Musk. He woke up.
The swerve of the century.
I literally just put that on fucking Twitter.
I think.
You
See,
fucking
this is my.
say that.
Well, this is what I suspect. I think either Elon's Twitter got hacked, and he's too embarrassed to tell anybody. Because how fucking embarrassing would that be? I own the company, and my own fucking account got hacked. Or, he's having a fucking Kanye moment. Yeah.
Could you imagine he's like tweeting and he's got fucking Kanye's like HH song in the background? Like fucking hell.
N-word
Oh my God.
HH. Oh my god. Kanye's lost his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Lost his fucking mind, bro. What? It's like, dude. It's like the guy. You know what it is? You know what it is? It's like when we're sitting around laughing at fucking. You know, maybe we're laughing at like right wing memes, and then in comes the guy with the fucking Nazi take, and it's like, dude, we were having a
We're
laugh.
just having a laugh. We're just having
Right.
a laugh, dude.
Yeah, and then some guy comes in with the JQ in 109 countries and shit like that. It's like, bro, we just wanted to laugh about, you know, like how, you know, liberals think that men can become women. And you had to come in with Hitler did nothing wrong. I mean, fuck, man. I think you took it a little bit too far. I'm just gonna say, like you know, what makes it funny is when you're being cheeky about it. You know, that level of deniability is what makes it funny. Right?
Yeah.
Like when I tell you that it's not true. It's not true. Okay, they're not throwing gay people off of fucking rooftops in Gaza. All right. Okay, the IDF blew up all the fucking rooftops. Where will they throw them from? Okay, it's just not fucking true.
I'm now interested in all the backlash about fucking
Yay, quiz for Palestine.
yeah. Yeah, that, but I mean, man, Twitter's already going over about fucking Black Panther being white. Oh my god!
Oh
How
my
dare
God.
they? How dare they show diversity? Diversity.
Equity and inclusion. That was the revolutionary step we needed. Okay, just make Black Panther white. Okay, and then all the white people will calm down. All right, and we could go along, just killing and stealing as we've been doing. All the white people will calm down because now they have reverse DEI representation. That's how it works.
What do you mean DNA? It's racist. Okay?
Listen.
Black Panther's supposed to be black. A black
Listen.
character can't be played by a white actor, okay? But I mean, you know what? We're allowed to have black actors play as like fucking Julius Caesar. Like, fuck.
Listen, don't you understand? Okay, a white woman said the N-word and raised $700,000. Nazis are right around the corner.
I did. I got water. Fuck you. Fuck.
Okay, Nazis are right around the corner. Today, it's a white woman calling some little retarded black kid the N-word and raising $700,000. Tomorrow, they're sending them to death camps. Okay? That's how that works. That's how that works.
Like it starts with saying the N-word in a voice chat, and then you're not a very good person.
Oh my god! And before you know it, you're being called out on TikTok by a
before you know it, you're worse than Hitler. Makes me wonder: did Hitler ever actually say the N-word? I'm curious now. Because then maybe those kinds are actually true.
Maybe he said it like once, like right before he pulled the trigger and blew his own brains out.
Fucking hell. No, it's like, crazy. And then I never said the word, and he says the word.
Crazy to think that Hitler never killed anybody himself except for Hitler.
Well, the thing is that in Mein Kampf, he doesn't call them the N-word. He just calls them like it's like Effeling or something, which is like German for fucking apelings. So that's pretty bad. It's not the N-word, but it's pretty bad.
Hitler got he got really salty when fucking I can't remember the guy's name. It was like the black track star from America in the 33
at the Olympics.
Yeah, dude, yeah. He got really fucking salty about that. I wish I could remember the guy's name.
He would be pretty mad since he was all fucked up in fucking drugs.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen like that opening ceremony?
Yeah,
he is high. He is fucking blissed out of his mind.
Oh, that's it. Fucking Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens, yes. Jesse Owens showed up and spanked the fucking German runners and
he broke like fucking 4 or 5 world records.
Yeah, dude. Like he killed it. And then like fucking Hitler's over there fucking seething and coping.
And it just makes it better that it was in Berlin.
That's
just what makes it
I
better.
know, right? Cope and seethe. Okay?
Oh, he was fucking seething. Don't worry. His fucking mouth was seething.
You could tell that motherfucker was grinding down his teeth. I can't believe this black guy beat all of my German runners. I need to exterminate at least 1 million Jews just to cool off about this, said Hitler as he walked into his chateau. Unbelievable. I can't believe that you would spread such propaganda and hate, Omega. Okay? It's because of you that all this terrorism is going on. Your trip to the Middle East. All of a sudden, October 7th, Well, I wonder what happened.
Hey, while I was in Jordan and while I was in the Dead Sea, I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna go to the other side and go to Israel for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Let me have a chat.
The other side.
Yeah, let me just
Yeah,
have a chat with the Israelis and that, tell them my big plan for October. I want October to be a fantastic month. Okay, and then I made my daring escape.
October, Omega. It's starting to make sense. Both start with those.
Oh my god. They were
You know
supposed to
what?
wait.
You know
they were
what
sup-
else? You know what's also a thing with October? It starts with O. You know what else starts with O? OBM fucking missiles. That's what starts.
Oh my
You know
god.
what else starts with O? And is German? Octo.
Yeah.
It's all his fault.
I mean, we were enjoying peace in the Middle East, but fuck, that's boring.
Yeah. Plus, we haven't had a good war in a while. Ukraine's mundane. All right, we need some fucking we need some real war.
Listen,
Ukraine, more
Ukraine
like migraine.
Ukraine flew a bunch of drones into Russia in the shape of a dick. Okay?
Yep.
They flew them in and just to fuck Putin. That was the message sent. Fuck Putin. Oh my god. That's how you win. Okay? If the Russian soldiers just put fucking dildos on the end of their rifles, the Ukrainians would run in fear.
What did everyone have for lunch today?
Food.
I had
Whiskey.
udon.
Lunch. Lunch. Isn't it
Hmm.
like 3 in the morning over there where you're at?
Well, if I say the exact time, I'm afraid fucking Omega would dox me.
Oh my god.
I already know where you live. I know where everyone here lives. It's my job to know. I've already
know where
been to
you
one.
live, mate.
I've already been to one of the peanut gallery's houses before. I'll do it again with another member.
I know. That poor kid Muhammad. You never saw it coming. 2 knives right to the guts.
I'm
Drug
talking
him out in
also.
the streets and put him on a
Yeah.
stake.
Yeah, exactly.
It took him 3 days to notice that he was hung up there. By then, the vultures had already pecked his eyes out. What a horrible person
It
you
did.
are, Omega.
Omega's fucking hiccups are fucking killing me, dude.
Okay?
This is a fucking plot by Virgil. He's trying to fucking kill me.
sending snakes to your location.
Yeah,
Cursing you a hiccup.
Yeah, fucking snake bit me. Instead of killing me with poison, it gave me something worse. Fucking hiccups. Fuck you, Virgil, you cunt.
He's got like a little voodoo doll and he's just stabbing your throat every 5 seconds.
Well, if you just hold your breath forever, okay, then you won't have any more hiccups.
True.
Oh my god. I don't know what's wrong with you, Kingdom. You're quite the worst, okay? And I oppose everything that you're for. Okay? I'm ready to oppose everything that you're for, Kingdom.
I'm pro-gay.
You're pro-gay?
I don't
I'm
participate in it, but I'm
Yeah.
pro-gay.
Yeah, well, I'm against being pro-gay. Okay? I don't think you should be pro anything. Not
Up
even
with his
professional.
Off with his head.
You shouldn't be pro anything, okay? Or anti
dude,
anything
I-
either.
But
You
dude,
should
I
have a
said I'm not
completely
gay.
neutral stance and fuck everybody.
Isn't that basically what trans are trying to accomplish? Being neutral.
All right.
Just fucking
All
everyone.
right. Get in the fucking guillotine kingdom. It's over. Okay? You had your chance. We gave you your last words. Put this fucking powdered wig on. Get in the fucking guillotine.
Make me. Oh, it's muffins
Fucking
all out.
Virgil.
Listen. The only thing, look, Virgil. All right? Go down the fucking housewares aisle. Get the toaster. All right, go down to the lawn and garden. Maybe grab a fucking extension cord if you need it. You're probably going to have to use the shower. It's going to be a little difficult, but, you know, you can still get the job done.
Fucking hell. No, it's gonna use like a fucking garden hose outside.
Running and jumping in the pond. Unbelievable. This guy with his fucking TikToks like it's gonna do something. Oh, I called you out. No, not you. Not you. Oh,
Yeah, how dare they? How dare they try to cancel me? Let me go
thought,
fucking rustle through the DMs and try to cancel them.
I mean, for a moment there, I thought it might have been somebody important. Obviously, I was mistaken. I'm followed by Lars. Lars. You don't understand. I got thrown out of Unite for being a retard. Imagine how much prestige I have.
Wait. Did Virgil actually say that? He got thrown out for being a retard.
No, that's why he got thrown out for being a fucking
Yeah.
retard.
Like, it wouldn't
Because
surprise me if he was saying that on fucking TikTok.
like he okay, because remember, like he couldn't afford the fucking thing because of the car insurance, right? So instead of like being like calming down and just fucking, you know, talking to
Right,
BH and
budget.
being like, hey, you know, I got credits or whatever, can I work something out? He fucking spurred out on I think Discord
Yeah.
or Twitter or something like that, and then they were just
He
like,
did
yeah,
that whole
no,
fucking video.
like he explained it in that fucking podcast and shit. But he left out the part about being a fucking retard. Like, well, he downplayed it.
Yeah. Like, it was my fault, but, not really.
You know what? You know what? I think I got something for us to watch. I found something earlier, and I put it in my watch later. I just can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember I was like, oh, this might be good for the stream.
Alright, give me a quick synopsis of what it is.
Let me find out what it is first, Keenan, and then I'll tell you.
Give me the synopsis first, and then fucking tell me.
Oh my god.
God fucking damn it.
Oh, I hope you die. Okay? Someday. Not now. Like 30, 40 years in the future. Peacefully in your sleep.
I hope you die fucking tomorrow.
Me too. That would be funny. Because then I'd haunt you, you know, for like the rest of your life. And then I'd bully you for the rest of your eternity. So you see how that works out.
Yeah, but like, imagine like there's another like William Kingdom out there, and you fucking bully them by accident.
Well, he deserves it for having the name William Kingdom.
Hey, fuck you. It's a really unique name, really one in the
Oh, here
world.
it is. Here it is. Now this I thought was like pretty interesting. And hang on. Let me get the OBS set up real quick.
Ugh.
Come on. Oh, okay. I'm gonna capture.
Very professional stream.
There we go. Alrighty. Hang on. See if I can get through the damn
Tell me why
ads. Because of course there has to be fucking ads.
Because our enemies.
Imagine if the leap from ape to human didn't start with tools or fire, but with a trip. And not a metaphorical one either. According to one of the strangest and most controversial ideas in anthropology, early humans evolved partly because they ate psychedelic mushrooms. It's
So you became a human. Ah, fuck. You know what? Hang on a second. Sorry, Kingdom. I forgot. One second. One second. I'm gonna come in and.
Yeah, I'm on the fucking phone.
No, my bad. I meant to share this screen too.
You
Hang on.
fucking
I got
dog.
you. I got you in just a second. Oh my god. Come on.
You never share the screen. Keep your filthy house. You're the queen of the harpies. What's this?
Okay. All right. Hang on a second.
No, what the fuck?
Okay. Let me start it over here. I didn't get but like 15 seconds in.
Imagine if the leap from ape to human didn't start with tools or fire, but with a trip. And not a metaphorical one either. According to one of the strangest and most controversial ideas in anthropology, early humans evolved partly because they ate psychedelic mushrooms. It's called.
And do you pick up on that now, Kingdom? These fucking monkeys started eating psychedelic mushrooms. And that's why we have big brains.
A new discovery in paleontology says that the T-Rex, didn't go extinct because of the fucking meteor. It started eating mushrooms and they all poisoned out.
They ate the poison mushrooms. Not like humans.
The crater is all the fucking rave parties they did.
Not like humans. Okay, we ate the Mario mushrooms that made us grow bigger. Badoo, badoo, badoo.
Called the stoned ape theory, and it asks a wild question. What if psilocybin was the secret ingredient behind human consciousness? It's the kind of idea that sounds like a plot to a science fiction novel, but it's a real hypothesis, and it's captured the imagination of psychonauts, mystics, and even curious scientists ever since. But before we dismiss it or believe it, let's see where the evidence actually leads.
No.
In the book Food of the Gods, Terence McKenna laid out one of the most controversial and psychedelic ideas ever proposed about human evolution, that the leap from Homo erectus to Homo sapiens was triggered not by fire, tools, or language, but by psilocybin mushrooms. He believed this shift happened during a critical environmental turning point. Around 2 million years ago, much of Africa was drying out.
So let me get this straight. The leap came because a bunch of fucking monkeys ate some goddamn mushrooms. And they tripped so hard that they, I don't know, evolved consciousness? I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to get at.
The lush tropical forests that once supported early hominins began to shrink. Climate shifts led to increasing desertification, pushing our ancestors out of the trees and into open savannas. Fruit became harder to find, and the old forest-based diets were no longer reliable. So our ancestors, like many species under pressure, adapted. They began following herds of grazing animals across the grasslands, scavenging whatever they could. From insects to tubers to whatever they found growing in the dung left behind by large herbivores. And this is where McKenna's theory kicks in. He proposed that, while foraging in this new environment, our ancestors came across Psilocybe cubensis, a psychoactive mushroom that naturally grows in cattle dung. Curious and hungry, they ate it. And according to McKenna, That moment, repeated over generations, sparked nothing less than a cognitive revolution. He claimed that at low doses, the psilocybin sharpened visual acuity, specifically edge detection, making early humans better hunters. They could spot predators, track prey, and navigate their surroundings more effectively. McKenna cited research from the 1960s by
case
Roland.
or Ryan Rye's case, fucking children.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Kingdom? Does it sound? Find any flaws
Certainly
yet?
sounds familiar from a few people we've interacted with in the fucking community.
I mean, he believed that these fucking monkeys were eating goddamn mushrooms, and all of a sudden they became super monkeys.
If that was the case, then surely some monkeys have fucking been able to speak by now.
I mean, you would have thought that the same fucking monkeys, or at least some animal, would have came across these fucking psilocybin mushrooms, eaten them, and then gotten a better, and then over generations would have gotten a lot smarter.
Yeah, almost to our fucking level.
I mean,
if that theory has any weight.
I mean, maybe there's a bunch of crows out there pecking on psilocybin mushrooms. They are pretty smart. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
the idea is probable, but it's like, again, like you have grazing animals that would just eat the fucking plants and shit. Like zebras in the example, like surely they would have come around a couple of them few generations here or there.
There's no reason that some fucking predator animal also wouldn't eat these things. I mean, shit. Why wouldn't a baboon eat the fucking psilocybin mushrooms? Why wouldn't a jaguar? Why wouldn't a jaguar eat them? They don't eat strictly meat. It doesn't carry weight. It just, like, there's too many variables that I think disprove it right off the bat. It's like, why is it that
it's purely an idea that sounds probable.
Like one specific line of one specific branch of one specific, like, it's very, very specific to only humans, and we're not the only species of humans that ever existed. So it just doesn't make any sense. I get the idea behind it, but it really, like, there's too many, like, what ifs.
Yeah.
Fisher and others who showed that psychedelics can heighten certain types of sensory perception. At slightly higher doses, he believed that the mushroom increased sexual arousal and energy, giving individuals a reproductive edge. Those who consumed the mushroom were more alert, more active, and more likely to mate, passing on their genes and giving rise to a population with both behavioral and neurological advantages. But the most radical part of McKenna's theory comes with the higher doses. He believed that psilocybin, in these larger amounts, helped dissolve the ego and blur the boundaries between self and other. This, he argued, would have promoted strong social bonding, communal rituals, and even group sexual practices. McKenna imagined early tribes gathering together in mushroom-induced ecstasy.
You don't need fucking mushrooms to be like, hey, all these people, they're my relatives. I need to protect them from this other tribe who's all protecting us from their relatives. And you didn't need to be fucking eating mushrooms like you were Mario to figure that shit out, bro. It kind of just comes naturally, whether you're taking mushrooms or not. Like, even base animals figure that shit out. Even base animals will, like, protect their young.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Peace.
All right. Fucking Omega's dipped out on me too, I guess.
Forming deep connections that led to greater genetic mixing and a shared sense of responsibility for the group's offspring. He also believed that these experiences were deeply spiritual. The visions, the sense of awe, the disintegration of the self, all of it, he thought, gave rise to the very first religious impulses. Our ancestors weren't just high, they were having what felt like encounters with the divine. Most importantly, McKenna argued that these altered states of consciousness stimulated activity in the brain regions tied to language, imagination, and symbolic thought. He claimed that this was the real origin of art, music, and spoken language. The mushroom wasn't just a drug, it was a neurological key that unlocked higher cognition.
I guess my only concern is like, why has it not done that for any other species? Why is there still apes, gorillas in the jungle that are, that are the exact same as they were 300 years ago? Why have they not made any progress? You can't tell me they don't graze around. Like, maybe not gorillas, but there are apes. There's like baboons. There's other primates that I'm sure have had contact with these same fucking mushrooms, and they've not jumped up, in intelligence or consciousness at all. So it just doesn't carry water with me. Sorry. It sounds good, but I just don't think it works.
McKenna, psilocybin mushrooms weren't just part of the diet. They were the driving force behind everything we now associate with being human. Culture, religion, storytelling, scientific thinking, it all began in his eyes with the discovery of a psychedelic fungus growing in animal tongue on the African savanna. It's a theory that sounds a little absurd on the surface, but it touches on something primal, something about curiosity, transformation, and the way altered states might shape who we are. McKenna's theory was not accepted by mainstream paleoanthropology, but his writing continued to live in the public consciousness. In recent years, the theory has gained some popularity with mycologist Paul Stamets. Mycologists study fungi, and though Stamets is mostly self-taught, he's widely recognized for advancing mushroom cultivation and public awareness of mycology. At a 2017 psychedelic science conference, Stamets stepped up to defend and modernize Terence McKenna's stoned ape theory. In his talk, Psilocybin Mushrooms and the Mycology of Consciousness, Stamets argued that the sudden doubling of the human brain starting 2 million years ago remains a mystery, and that psychedelics might offer a plausible explanation. Echoing McKenna, he imagined that early humans wandering the savannah, stumbling across psilocybin mushrooms growing from dung, eating them, and then experiencing dramatic shifts in perception and cognition. Stamets didn't claim to prove the idea, but he urged listeners to consider it a very, very plausible hypothesis for the rapid evolution of Homo sapiens.
Like, I don't have any doubt that there are scenarios like that. I just don't think that it doesn't seem to ring true. Like, if it's like, why is it that the mushrooms would have this effect on this particular species? Like, I feel like you're just trying to like gain some ground for legalizing mushrooms, bro. I think you just like getting high on mushrooms. You look like you're high on mushrooms.
The stone ape theory is undeniably fascinating. It's bold, imaginative, and taps into some of the deepest questions about consciousness and our early evolution. But now it's time to take a closer look and see if his ideas stand up to scrutiny. First, a quick clarification. Despite the name, it's not actually a theory in the scientific sense. It's a hypothesis, an intriguing idea based on limited evidence, one that hasn't been rigorously tested or widely accepted by the scientific community. In everyday language,
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying like why I don't think it works.
we often use theory to mean a guess. But in science, a theory is something far more substantial, a well-supported explanation backed by a strong body of evidence. If you take one thing away from this video, it is that the word theory and a hypothesis are not interchangeable. Okay, now let's dive into early evolution, one of my favorite topics. McKenna posited that around 2 million years ago, much of Africa was drying out. The lush tropical forests that once supported early hominins began to shrink. Climate shifts led to increasing desertification, pushing our ancestors out of the trees and into open savannas. He is partially correct in this assessment, as Africa was drying out and the savanna was expanding between 2.8 to 2.5 million years ago. However, his idea about our ancestors being pushed onto the savanna is largely out of date. We know that hominins had been living in open environments long before the genus Homo even appeared. The Australopithecines, the predecessors to our genus, appeared over 4 million years ago. They were adapted to open environments as well as sparsely wooded environments. We know for a fact that the earliest species in our genus, such as Homo erectus and Homo habilis, were perfectly adapted to open environments as far as 2 million years ago. So the aridification of Africa didn't force early humans onto the savanna, but rather they were...
Bro, why are you even like debunking this part of it? Oh, they weren't forced on the savannah. They've been living there the whole time. Who gives a shit? What's this got to do with him eating fucking mushrooms?
already adapted to it, but this might actually play in McKenna's favor, as in these open environments, dung-loving psychedelic mushrooms were common. Genetic analysis suggests that Psilocybe cubensis, one of the most well-known magic mushrooms, likely existed across Africa well over 2 million years ago. However, they may have only been available during wetter seasons of the year. McKenna hypothesized that early hominids looking in the dung of large herbivores for grubs would have often come across these mushrooms. This is plausible as other primate species today, such as baboons and chimpanzees, flip over dung and dig through it to find beetle larvae and grubs. Assuming that early humans would have tried these mushrooms from time to time, it is plausible that they recognized them as an entertaining and stimulating experience. After all, a handful of animals appear to seek out recreational substances. For example, multiple species, including chimps, will eat fermented fruit seemingly to enjoy the alcohol. Some monkeys in the Caribbean have become full-on alcoholics, and dolphins have been observed inhaling pufferfish toxins and acting inebriated. It is entirely possible that early hominins recognized the effects of mushrooms and enjoyed them, but could these substances have given them an edge? At the heart of the stoned ape hypothesis is the idea that consuming psilocybin mushrooms gave early hominins a survival advantage.
Oh my god. They ate the mushrooms and suddenly they became Super Mario. Oh, we went from regular apes to super apes, okay? Started playing with fire and shit, invented the wheel and stuff. Ah, you can't beat us now. We got the power of mushrooms in our corner.
Perhaps enhancing cognition, perception, or social bonding in ways that accelerated brain evolution. But from an evolutionary and scientific standpoint, this claim is highly speculative and lacks empirical support. To begin with, let's address McKenna's claims that low doses of psilocybin mushrooms can enhance visual acuity, particularly edge detection, giving early humans an advantage in hunting and survival. This is one
Big surprise, it's not true.
of McKenna's most specific and most misunderstood claims. According to him, sharper eyesight meant better tracking of prey, quicker spotting of predators, and ultimately more food and offspring. He often cited experiments by pharmacologist Roland Fisher to support this idea, claiming that his work showed that psilocybin improved vision in measurable ways. But here's the problem. That study didn't actually test visual acuity. What Fisher's team measured was depth perception and spatial distortion, not the ability to see fine details or sharpen visual edges. McKenna essentially took a study about altered perception and spun it into a story about enhanced vision. Furthermore, Fisher et al. Stated that psilocybin may not be conducive to the survival of an organism. To this day, no peer-reviewed research has shown that psilocybin improves human visual acuity. It alters perception, yes, it intensifies colors, distorts space, and can even make the world feel hyper-detailed, but those effects are subjective, and not the same as objectively seeing better. In fact, most controlled studies show that psychedelics introduce visual distortions, not clarity.
Yeah, in other words, it's not a fucking mushroom version of Kaioken, okay? You may get sharper vision, or you may get blurry vision. You may start seeing colors run. You may start seeing all kinds of shit. But, there's no guarantee that you're going to suddenly, get the fucking vision of Superman.
Even modern microdosing trials, where people take tiny amounts of psychedelics to boost performance, have failed to show consistent benefits to perception or cognition. So did psilocybin make our ancestors see like hawks? Probably not. McKenna's claim is imaginative, but it stretches the data beyond what the science supports. The idea of sharper vision under mushrooms may feel true to someone in the moment, but from an evolutionary standpoint, there's just no proof that this would actually work. Another one of McKenna's claims was that the use of these mushrooms led to a rapid increase in the size of the human brain. This is a legitimately interesting question. Why did the human brain supposedly double in a period of roughly 2 million years? Well, let's break down the increase in the human brain size based on species. Our genus evolved from Australopithecines, small-bodied, upright walking hominids with a brain size of around 400 to 550 cubic centimeters. Then, with the emergence of our genus, was Homo habilis dating to 2.4 million years ago with a brain size of 500 to 775 cubic centimeters. Then, Homo erectus appeared 2 million years ago, first with a slightly larger brain, and then by around 500,000 years ago, their descendants commonly had brains over 1,000 cubic centimeters. By the time our species appeared 300,000 years ago, hominids all over the world had brains larger than ours today, more than 1,500 cubic centimeters. This includes Neanderthals, our ancestors, and East Asian hominids like Homo longi and likely Denisovans. Point being, the human brain size continued to increase around the world in varied environments. It wasn't unique to our species or to the savanna. Hominids in Europe to Southeast Asia were involving increasingly larger brains, except Homo floresiensis, but they were getting really small. It is difficult to reconcile this with the stoned ape theory. The idea that mushroom use from animal dung on the savanna led to our larger brains and higher intelligence doesn't square with our evidence. What about the other populations that may have not even had access to psychedelic mushrooms? Their brains were increasing as well, and this trend clearly goes back millions of years to the origin of our genus. The evolution of our brain is very unique, but it wasn't necessarily rapid.
All right, now strap in, boys and girls. We're going to learn how you grow your fucking brain. Okay? Pay attention, Virgil. Walton, Mandy, Cash, all of you fucking retards. This is a birthday surprise. I'm going to teach you how to grow your fucking brain.
Talking about 3 million years. There are plenty of other models that seek to explain why our brains got larger, and many models have hypothesized that the advent of cooking and meat consumption led to the surplus calories required to evolve a large brain. Other popular ideas surround social complexity and tool use. Ancient humans had an incredible amount of skills to master, places to remember, and relationships to keep intact. Such a demanding lifestyle may have led to the growth of the brain. In fact, both Neanderthals and early modern humans had significantly larger brains than we have today. Over the past 20,000 years, we have lost about a tennis ball worth of brain volume. Our modern brains might be more efficient than the brains of the past, making a smaller brain better overall, but the point is, ancient humans had incredibly complex lives and needed bigger brains. But perhaps the biggest problem with McKenna's hypothesis is also the most fundamental. Evolution only works on traits that are heritable, that is, traits passed down through genes. Eating a mushroom might temporarily shift your perception, boost your mood, or even make you more socially outgoing, but it doesn't rewrite your DNA. Those effects vanish in hours. They're not passed on to your children. Now, to be fair, McKenna did try to address this. He speculated that psilocybin increased sexual arousal and sociability, which could theoretically lead to more mating and more offspring. In this hypothetical scenario, the individuals who consumed mushrooms would have reproduced more often, gradually tipping the genetic scales in their favor. But here's the issue. There's no evidence this ever happened. We have no data suggesting that regular mushroom users in ancient populations had more children, or that those children inherited any cognitive benefits from their parents' trips. Even if psilocybin boosted libido...
Right, this is basically based on fucking speculation. He's basically making it up as he goes along. Probably because he tripped on mushrooms, had a certain effect, and started coming up with all these fucking theories as to why mushrooms are actually good for you to start tripping on. It's all drug propaganda.
In the moment, those behavioral effects are temporary, not biological upgrades that natural selection can act on. This line of thinking also brushes against Lamarckian logic, the outdated idea that traits acquired during life can be passed down genetically, like suggesting if I lift weights and get strong, my kids will be born buff. It sounds intuitive, but evolution just doesn't work that way. So even if mushrooms did make some people more social, more aroused, and more mystical, it's all moot unless those effects somehow translated to genetic advantages. And so far, there's no evidence they did. Well, the hypothesis is cool and all, but what do actual scientists think? As learned people of science, we should look at things skeptically, and not take things at face value just because they tell a good story. Anthropologists, evolutionary biologists, and cognitive science have looked at...
Wait a minute, run that by me again?
As learned people of science, we should look at things skeptically, and not take things at face value just because they tell a good story.
The fact that you have to say that just tells me where you are at this point.
Anthropologists, evolutionary biologists, and cognitive science have looked at the stone ape theory with deep skepticism. The problem isn't that psychedelics have no effects. They clearly do. The problem is connecting those effects to large-scale evolutionary changes in brain structure and behavior over millions of years. There is currently no fossil, genetic, or archaeological evidence supporting the idea that psilocybin had a direct impact on human evolution. No evidence of widespread psychedelic use that predates symbolic culture, and no way to test whether tripping apes gained selective advantages that would have translated into reproductive success. Cognitive neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Gallimore has noted that while psychedelics may influence thought and perception, there's no scientific mechanism linking these experiences to the slow, generational grind of evolution. Other experts like paleoanthropologist John Hawkes have called the theory speculative at best. While open to interdisciplinary exploration, Hawkes and others emphasize that our understanding of human evolution needs to be built on observable evidence. Fossils, behavior, genetics, not on some what-if scenario.
No, come on now. It's the woke era, okay? The wokesters all believe stuff on what-if scenarios. But what if? What if a woman didn't get to kill her 13th kid this month?
And there's another issue, dose and frequency. For a substance to influence evolution, it would need to be consumed regularly by a large portion of population over generations, and lead to actual survival and reproductive advantages. That's a big ask for a mushroom that grows seasonally in specific conditions. Anthropologist Elisa Guerra Doce considers the idea too simplistic, potentially a reduction of a complex evolutionary process into a single aha or oh well moment.
Yeah, she sounds pretty smart.
She's also troubled by there being little evidence of such a pivotal moment, or of drug use at all so early in the archaeological record. My initial thoughts about the stoned ape hypothesis was, well, that's a cool idea, but how would we ever even prove it? Hypothetically, we could find dental calculus from this early on showing mushroom consumption or mushroom residue on tools. Even if this evidence did exist, it would still be quite a stretch to correlate it to the gradual growth of our brains on multiple continents over 2 million years. Discussion of the stoned ape hypothesis is certainly interesting and makes some good podcast clips, but scientifically it just doesn't stack up. What I find far more interesting is the influence psychedelic substances had on more recent Stone Age cultures.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave it off it there. But basically, yeah, we see you know, the idea is interesting, but not practical at all. You know, it's just not practical. So, all right, I did a little bit of a stream. Got everything done. I think I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you know that Omega is a neighbor. Ah, he got the hiccups. What a pussy. You're supposed to fight the hiccups. Okay, you're supposed to like get scared. You're supposed to get scared. Anyway, I am outie.